podcast in partnership with Kenya Publishers Association. With us today is Wendy Kamau at the Nairobi International Book Fair. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you so much.
So, Wendy, you are a writer of
Yes.
these 3 books,
Yes.
Arise
Yes.
and Shine,
Yes,
2 Hearts,
yes.
One
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat.
Yes.
and Unhindered.
Unhindered. Yes. Yes.
Where did you get all this information to write? Tell us more.
Well, I think once an author, always an author.
Alright.
When you start writing,
Yeah.
I think you never stop writing. It kind of just keeps you, accountable. One book keeps you accountable. If you stop, I know there are people who start and stop, but I think for me, it's one, the life experiences that I've gone through, and also seeing the gaps in our society today. So that keeps me going.
Yeah.
So absolutely, it's possible to write even 3 books in a year.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't do that for these 3,
Yes.
but it's possible.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Where
yes.
do your ideas come from?
I think from God. God just puts an idea
Yeah.
or an experience that I will go through and think. We are social beings. So if I'm going through this, there's someone else, wherever they are. Not just in Kenya, wherever they are, that may go through a similar experience. So experiences also inspire me to write. Absolutely, yeah. So I would say one, like Arise and Shine.
Yeah.
I must say this was just so divine. Arise and Shine, God just put that in my heart, and I thought, you know what, everyone has a dream.
Yeah.
Everyone. Like today we are having so many students around, and I've asked several students, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Some a doctor, an engineer, and they need to understand you don't just end up being an engineer. It doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
There are things to do. So Arise and Shine is a practical guide on how to achieve your God-given dreams, and very simple things, but things that people don't do, and so
Yes.
they don't end up achieving their dream. So it's a very easy to read. You can actually read that in one sitting.
Oh.
Yeah, it has practical exercises, very easy to read. Even a grade 6 student can read that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
this was your first.
That was my first
How long
book.
did it take you to write?
I'm ashamed to say. Anyway, I think I took about 1 year to write that book.
Oh my
It shouldn't
goodness.
take me that long.
Yeah.
But I self-published, and at that time, I hadn't quite gotten a mentor,
Okay.
someone who could help me, just guide me. You don't do this, you do this. So I didn't have that when I was beginning. But at some point, I got to get to know someone that is known to me, but I didn't quite know they had published a book. So that way, he helped me just fast track that process. So it took about an year thereabouts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
your second book was this 2 Hearts, One Heartbeat?
No. My second book was Unhindered.
Unhindered. What is about Unhindered?
Unhindered is very personal. I share my own journey of victories that I have, breakthroughs that I have encountered through my life. In fact, one of the first stories is overcoming mental illness.
Okay.
I remember when I was in high school, Form 2, I dropped out of school. I dropped out of school because I had developed a mental condition that I didn't quite know when, at the very initial stages.
Yeah.
And sometimes being in a government school, sometimes you can report something and, it can, sometimes it's not taken seriously.
Yes.
Yeah, so it developed over time. Like I would stare at one spot on the blackboard and just stare at it. It's prep time, I should be studying. But my mind is that there was such an antagonism in my mind. I was trying to fight this other force. This other voice that is telling me stare at that spot, and I knew I was supposed to be studying. So there was a lot of turmoil going through. And I'm a teenager at that time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was able to finally get some medical help, dropped out of school so that I can get, medication and counseling and all that. But anyway, I was able to get back to school and completed my KCSE somewhere 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, so Unhindered really is victories, such like victories that God has helped me overcome. And everyone at one point or another in life will go through a situation, an experience where they need some hope. They need someone to encourage them. Unhindered is a wonderful book that will stir you up, encourage you to keep moving. I mean, if I was able to overcome mental illness, and you know how sometimes that can be stereotyped,
Yes.
then, I mean, anyone can overcome whatever situation it is. Yeah, so
Wow.
Unhindered is really about, giving you hope, stirring you up to keep moving.
So because this is based on your true story,
Yes, absolutely.
how long, how was it writing? What was the process of writing?
Whew. Heartfelt.
Yeah.
Heartfelt. I'm passionate about really Unhindered. I really like Unhindered because I pour my heart and just sharing, because these are things that people go through. In fact, one of the I think it's in that book, one of the stories about, even my dating life,
Okay.
and struggles that I went through, breakups and so forth that I went through. And these are things that young people go through, and sometimes they have no one to tell them, you don't have to go through that, or,
Yeah.
Pole sana, let me hold your hand, let me walk with you. So just sharing experiences, personal experiences that can help someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then your third one, 2 hearts, 1 heartbeat.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
That's my my latest.
All right.
It's a story of love, faith, and purpose. I share my singlehood journey, dating and marriage, and I realized many young people will, start with person A. By the time they're landing to K is when they're settling on, now this is the person. And it doesn't have to be like that, y'all. It doesn't have to be like that.
All right.
So I felt I have a story to tell for someone to realize, no, these are the guidelines. You don't have to keep falling. You don't have to keep getting your heart broken. I mean, by the time you're ending up with the right person, your heart is almost like, just
It's a
2
thread.
pieces. I mean, really, you don't have to go through all that. So 2 Hearts, 1 Heartbeat is... I share how I was able to stand as a single person and just stand in purity, and also meeting my husband. And also now marriage, that journey basically transitioning from singlehood to dating and marriage. So that's what Unhindered is another 2 Hearts, 1 Heartbeat is all about.
All right.
Yeah.
So your 3 books basically
Yes.
are on motivation,
Yes,
giving
yes, yes.
hope,
Yes,
and,
yes,
and
yes.
talking to, sharing your personal story.
Yes.
Talking to that teenager, that person who needs hope. Yeah?
Yes.
Are you able to get to different genres, other genres like fiction?
Okay, for now I have mainly been focusing on creative non-fiction. I don't know if I will go into fiction.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. I think once you write, you start writing, and maybe after a couple of books, then you realize, why not explore other genres?
Yeah.
So maybe, I can just say maybe for now.
Yeah.
But I really, my heart, I'm so passionate about, encouraging people to pursue that God-given dream they have in them, encouraging people not to give up and to keep forging forward. I mean, there's always going to be circumstances that will try to discourage you as long as you're alive. Yeah, so mine is to keep encouraging people. I was just telling you before we started this is Miles Munro said that one of the richest places is the graveyard.
Yeah.
And why? Because people are not courageous enough to pursue their God-given dreams. And I don't want people to. Everyone that is born, wherever they are born in, whatever country they are born in, they have a dream. And I feel it's my call to encourage people, whatever, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in faith, whether it's in, purpose, just to start them up to keep going for their dreams. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Talk to that individual, that young girl, that young man who wants to tell their story but is afraid.
Oh, you just have to decide, I'm going to start. I'm telling you, nothing gets started until you are intentional. Intentionality plays a key role. Whether you feel like, what are people going to think about? It's your story.
Yeah.
It's your story. Your story is so unique from anybody else's. I mean, you have to encourage yourself, tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to try. I'm going to start. And believe you me, and you can even try with your friends or family members. Ask them to, just look at your story,